Breaking news! I will start teaching soon, and I must figure out how I will increase my understanding of Domain 2 in the Teacher Leader Model Standards. Domain 2 is accessing and using research to improve practice and student learning, to increase my effectiveness as a teacher leader. I imagine my first day, I walk in and I write my name on the board and the date and maybe a few objectives, ready to teach these amazing minds about social studies. The bell rings and I can hear the kids whispering behind me. Maybe they're excited to learn as much as I am to teach. So how will I access the data and use the research? The first function states the teacher leader assists colleagues in accessing and using research in order to select appropriate strategies to improve student learning. So by December 2018, I will learn from the school on how to access this data so I can share my knowledge and collaborate with other teachers to become empowered in their own school. The next function facilitates the analysis of student learning data, collaborative interpretation of results, and application of findings to improve teaching and learning. This function could be used throughout the school year, so this function will be started in January of 2019 and continued throughout the remaining school year. It is important to know that I do plan to get with the other teachers and see what is working for their students that I may not be doing and could in my own classroom. The third function explains that the teacher leader supports colleagues in collaborating with the higher education institutions and other organizations engaged in researching critical educational issues. I plan to encourage my peers to volunteer their classrooms for observations and other research-based opportunities. I believe I should be teaching for at least a year before I can have some ground on this one, so I should have this goal achieved by May 2019. The last function discussed is teaches and supports colleagues to collect, analyze, and communicate data from their own classrooms to improve teaching and learning. This is probably my most favorite function of the four, because this is when we as teachers can be scientists and we get to do our own experiments to see what is working and what is not. I plan to have a preventative plan to closely monitor my students from the beginning of the year. So starting in August of 2018, my students will use a QR code hall pass. I must figure out what the school culture is like and how they can go through the halls to their destination without a physical pass, but this will come when I get hired. The idea is to have hard data about when a student is coming and going from my classroom. I want to create a QR code they must scan before they leave and when they return. This will automatically capture the date and time, and they will have to have filled in where they were going. So if a student is not doing well and I see that they are leaving class every day at the same time, or always sometime during my class, I may take the privilege of leaving away so they do not miss any more of the class time. A student out of class is not learning the material. This will also keep the 21st century learner engaged, as I will use the QR code for other things like lessons and gathering more data. This is the domain I believe I will need to work on the most to make the biggest impact within my school, at least at the beginning of my career. A teacher leader should use the research to improve learning for both the students and the teachers. This is Ashley Gorelick signing out and returning you to your regularly scheduled program.